With an estimated production of 40 million hectoliters, the entire wine sector in Spain represents around 2% of the GDP, with Europe being the world's main wine producer with 60% of global production. Despite the efforts made by this sector in the face of the challenges of climate change, the environmental management of the activities of the wine sector is still complex, and the proliferation of scientific studies and methodologies in matters of carbon footprint assessment complicate the decision-making of the main actors in the sector.
I believe it is essential for the wine sector to have a common tool that allows us to quantify and also certify CO2 emissions as well as CO2 sequestration at our facilities. This will enable us to develop additionality measures within a mitigation project so that the objective of this project is incremental and supported by carbon credits.
To facilitate this calculation and aid decision-making, the VID-EXPERT tool has been created, designed and developed by the task force of the same name. It is an intelligent system for diagnosing the carbon footprint and also makes recommendations on the most efficient mitigation measures to be adopted in the vineyard and in the winery, offering continuous improvement to the organizations that use it without the need to employ external resources. VID-EXPERT helps users to draw up mitigation plans and facilitate the obtaining and renewal of the Sustainable Wineries for Climate Protection Certificate as a benchmark of sustainability for wineries in Spain.
VID-EXPERT is a tool that will allow wineries to understand their current situation in relation to their carbon footprint, identify which phases of the production process have the greatest impact, and obtain specific recommendations for reducing it, identifying and drawing on the best practices collected and shared with other wineries, from the vineyard and the winery to the end consumer. In short, it is a tool that will be very useful for obtaining the Sustainable Wineries for Climate Protection Sustainability Seal.
For the development of the VID-EXPERT intelligence system, bibliographic data from previous studies and research in the wine sector have been obtained, and primary data has been collected through numerous and exhaustive questionnaires. This work has been carried out by the VID-EXPERT task force, made up of 7 organizations with a markedly multidisciplinary character, ideally suited to carrying out this project. With this initiative, VID-EXPERT has supported the wine sector as a whole in mitigating the effects of global warming and providing it with the means to become a leader and driving force in the fight against climate change in the Spanish and European agricultural sector. The VID-EXPERT system is a web application that calculates and diagnoses the carbon footprint of wineries and vineyards and also provides recommendations to help develop plans to mitigate the CO2 footprint. To do this, it has a functional menu and a user-friendly interface.
The design and development of the VID-EXPERT tool is based on an expert system model that evolves towards a machine learning system. The system analyzes data and known and reliable data sources that allow it to make recommendations adapted to the characteristics of different organizations.
The project is funded by the European Union together with the Spanish Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Food, which promotes and funds innovation projects to develop more productive and sustainable types of production and agricultural practices. And thanks to the European Agricultural Fund for Rural Development, Europe is investing in rural areas.